Today I'm going to show you how to modify the xterm, which is the terminal emulator that I prefer in PuppyLinux. In particularly, I want a clean terminal without any borders or without any headers. So I'm going to show this in a bionicpup64, which is what I have here, and this is actually pretty much a default installation. I did clean up the desktop and put the tray up here, and then mounted the hard drive. I only have one hard drive with different partitions, but otherwise this is a pretty clean install that you can expect in a bionicpup64. So we'll just go ahead and open up a terminal here, and this is default terminal in bionicpup is urxvt, and we'll just go ahead and type in terminal and then xterm, I should say, and you can see that another window opens up, but I think that this sort of up here, a header, title header here, gives away that it may not be xterm. So you can go ahead and which xterm, and we'll give you a placement where the xterm command is. So by looking at it, it looks like it's already installed, but and then we can further check again. It's installed in your USR bin, but we can go ahead and rocks USR and bin, and then go to that folder, and then we can go ahead and further go down the period that will give you opening a little window on the bottom, and we'll go ahead and xterm, and then you can see that it is not a true app, but it's actually a symbolic link to urxvt. So you can see that when I hover over the xterm, that so xterm, it really is not installed in bionicpup64. So I wanted to just show you that. And then next is we want to do is go ahead and install it. So F12, and then go down to the setup, and then we'll just go ahead and go to Puppy Package Manager, and then we'll go ahead and type in xterm, and then it'll show up on the bottom here, and then we'll go ahead and install. It's a good idea just go ahead and refresh first, which I've already done, so we'll just go ahead and install it. It just takes a couple of seconds. Xterm is very fast, similar to urxvt, but I find it to my liking, so this is why I'm doing this video. So we'll just go ahead and OK, and then we'll close with the Alt F4, and then we'll go ahead and try it again. We'll type in xterm, and now it looks different, and it is xterm. You can see this here. To xterm pointing to urxvt is been deleted. So what we can do is just go ahead and find out what the xterm is again. So we'll go ahead and use the rocks USR bin, and then you'll open it up. Now we can just use the period here, and then delete and type in xterm, and then you'll quickly, and you can see that this xterm has been replaced, because the if it's a link, a hard link, the link, there should be an arrow, big arrow, so that's been replaced by the program itself. So that's correct. So that's done, and then now what we can do, we'll clear the screen, and then now we can go ahead and start up xterm here from urxvt, and you can see that this is very small, and then it's wide and so on. So what we can do is modify x resources and let's get out of this, and you can ignore all this error messages for now, and that's all going to be gone. So we'll go ahead and close the urxvt, and then actually we can just go ahead and take a look at the rocks at the go ahead and minimize rocks here. And then the file of interest is X resources. So X resources here, if we take a look at the default X resources, which we're going to configure to modify the appearance of the xterm, is just very only about 5 lines, and only line of the fonts that's active is one without exclamation point. So this has to do with the size of the font here. But we're going to go ahead and cheat and then replace the X resources and point toward the xterm specific. And so we're gonna so let me just copy this, and then what we can do is let's go ahead and copy from the geany, and then replace this with default. So I'm just gonna copy here, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna negate the active font, and then it's gonna replace it to a much larger font, just for mainly for this purpose presentation here, and it's gonna have a different color background. And then I want the I want the blink, but it doesn't work. But we'll go ahead and see, and so we'll just go ahead and save this. Save, and then what we want to do is get it activated. In other words, we need to refresh the X resources files to read the changes. So we can go ahead and give it a command of xrdb and dash merge, and then period capital X resources, and then that actually reads the modified X resources file again. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then now we're gonna give it a xterm again and see what changes. So we can see that the color has of the background has changed, and the font is actually much larger. And but there is a little bug in that you should this should be blinking, but it doesn't. But that's okay. And then what the other problem is that prompt is very difficult to read. So we'll go ahead and work. Now the appearance of a prompt here is controlled by a .bashrc file on the root directory. So let me just show you. It's already open, but let me just, all you do is just drag it into geany and it'll open up. And then I've actually cheated a little bit. This is what is default here, but I have obtained I copied from my the other PuppyLinux, and then what we're gonna do is activate that by backspace, and then we'll just go ahead and deactivate it, this line. So it's gonna change. So what we'll do is we're gonna save this changed bashrc, and then we're gonna open up the urxvt again, and you can see the color has significantly changed. The reason that I've changed the color and the style is because of xterm, not because of the urxvt. And you can see that here is really significantly improved as far as the font size and font itself and so on. The next step is to get rid of the title bar and the border, as I've stated. So we want to make it borderless, and what we have to do is modify this jwmrc-personal file, which is in the root directory here, and .jwm folder, and we'll go ahead and just drag this into Geany. And what we have to do here now is go ahead and modify, and particularly we want to just insert this line telling the to specifying there's no title and no border on the xterm. Okay, so what we want to do is copy this and then put it go to the personnel file here, and then go all the way down. Let's see, we want to go to the group where there is no group entry so far, so there's a window and key binding, so we'll go ahead and pick here, and then we'll go ahead and insert Control V and then save. Now because of the this file has been saved, what we have to do is we have to force it to reread the personnel file and JWM. So what we can do is JWM restart, and then ampersand sign, so that's restarted. Let me just go ahead and close this, and then you can see that it's really changed. This xterm has lost the title and the bar, but that's what we wanted to do. Now lastly, rather than having xterm start up here, I want to use the geometry function to place it exactly where I prefer that xterm be launched. So you can use the dot geometry space. 90 refers to the width of the character of the window, and then 18 refers to the height of the window character. And this 170 and 345, notice that these are plus signs, has to do with a pixel of horizontal displacement of 170, and then the depth of 345 pixel on the window. So you obviously, your preference may really be different, and your screen's going to be different, but this is the number that I came out with. And let me just show you what that does. If I just enter, for me, I prefer that this borderless xterm be occupied down here, so this works fine for me. So, and then once you have that number and xterm, what we may want to do is just go back to the personnel file and then use the key binding section here, and then let's see if there is one already. Okay, so there is no key binding on default, so what we can do is go ahead and just put one here, and we'll just make a copy, and then copy, and then place it here, and then rather than ALT, we'll use a super key, and then T, and then we'll replace this with xterm. So let's go ahead and try this, and then middle mouse click, and then we need a space, and then we're going to save that, and now we're going to again force the reading of the jwm restart. Now if everything went okay, if I can launch the borderless terminal here with a super and T. I'll do that now. No, I forgot to put the exec dot the colon here before the xterm, and now it works fine. So let me just go ahead and save that file, and then we're gonna start the urxvt, and we're gonna have to force to reread the changed configuration, and then we're gonna exit. Now I'm going to click on super and T, and now you notice that this starts correctly. So I think that that's it for today.